What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Flash, aka Malachi36 from ALWT Gaming. Happy Tuesday on the last day of August, 31st, 2021. I am your host, along with It's the Nine Ball. How are you doing today? Awesome, man.
I'm doing good. I am feeling okay today. It's been a crazy day.
Heard that. And of course, this little trio will not be complete without its mildewy carrot. I was about to say it's a nine ball again. Mildewy carrot, how are you doing, man?
I thought my name was It's the Nine Ball.
No. It's not opposite day yet. That's tomorrow.
Also, stop lying. It's not 2021. It's 2019 still.
Yeah, I know, right? We're just going to take back 2019. So you straight up went back 2 years. You didn't even try to. You just skip 2020.
COVID? What's that? I don't know. It sounds like a new cough syrup they've got in China or something. You
know. Guys.
That Corona was a drink.
Yeah.
What
do you mean it's a virus? You mean it's like it's the new Cancun thing? I don't know. What are we talking about here?
Holy cow.
This is episode 62 of ALWT Things Gaming, our video game podcast where we sit back to talk video games news with you guys, give you guys little updates, and talk about our thoughts about stuff that's coming out, that's going on inside the industry, all that good stuff. If you guys
industry?
Are the gaming industry,
look there, he said it.
Bars. And for anyone that is an Anchor or Spotify listener, you guys have noticed that there was no clip last week, and that's because we actually went ahead and reacted to the Xbox showcase at Gamescom. And before we go any further with today's show, I want to know just a real quick recap of your guys' opinion of what had happened at the Xbox Gamescom last week. We're going to start with you, Mildewy Carrot. What were your thoughts and opinions about that? You're on the clock.
I have no idea what the hell I watched.
Yeah.
All I know is I wasted an hour and a half of my life doing it.
You're saying that the trebuchets weren't that interesting to you?
They're interesting when I'm the one firing them, not when you're talking about a high school science fair project that Bobby made just to pass his class, So, no. It really didn't do much for me at all. I'm excited for the game coming out for Age of Empires 4.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. Didn't need to know the mechanics behind a trebuchet because I already know it,
All right.
I'm a dork. I
will
admit it.
And what about you there? It's the Nine Ball. What were your thoughts? Any recaps? Anything that stood out to you? Any pros? Any cons?
About what again?
Exactly.
The Xbox Gamescom.
Xbox did what now?
What? What are you talking about? I've been talking to you guys for about an hour last week. I was talking about, but...
Well, don't you remember we talked about trebuchets and then we kind of went off about some other games with gravity?
Flying. You remember they talked about flying on airplanes, stuff like that.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought Malachi just put together a trailer of random videos and called it.
Fast and Furious movie called Forza.
Yeah, I thought Malachi's junior version of himself kind of threw together some videos to make it look like he was working for Xbox as his his resume for him, even though he's barely walking.
Yeah, it was.
I helped him.
And that's kind of my thoughts too as well. It was not an interesting showcase. It really wasn't. The day after, which we did not react to, that was one that was interesting. Had a little bit of everything. And in fact, there's more Xbox stuff there that just wasn't at the Xbox showcase for Gamescom. So I don't know what type of partnership they were doing with Opening Night Live and Jeff Keighley and all that. But Xbox, you should have had Halo at your own event. You shouldn't have had Jeff Keighley announce it. Same thing. There's so many other stuff that they could have shown at the Xbox showcase, and they just gave it off to Opening Night Live to do it the next day. So I was a little conflicted about that, but some good stuff did come out of that, such as Saints for a Reboot. There's a few other games that looked interesting too as well. And that's all stuff that we're going to talk about a little bit later if we have the extra time to talk about that today. But like I said, if you guys are Spotify or Anchor listeners and you guys missed that, make sure you guys are going to our YouTube page. Just go to YouTube, type in ALWT Gaming inside the search bar. If you don't see us by that name, type in At Least We Tried Gaming, and it should be the latest video right before Smite Night. So you guys should be able to check that out. It is ALWT Things Gaming episode 61. But you guys are listening to ALWT Things Gaming episode 62. So we're going to get this show on the road with DC fandom. What are we going to see? And first and foremost, before I even start reading this article, how familiar are we with DC fandom? Who keeps up with it? Like, I mean, we all know what it is, but who all keeps up with it? Who all really dives into it? What's up? Anybody?
Not too much. I keep up with some of the movies and some of the gangs, but I don't really keep up with DC.
I used to keep up a good bit just because of I'm a big fan of Harley Quinn, the Rogues, the Sirens, and all that. But I haven't touched it in forever, so I don't know too much anymore. So I will definitely say probably nope.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm kind of in that. I mean, my favorite superhero is the Flash of all time. I mean, I absolutely love the dude.
Couldn't tell.
But I mean, like, outside of that, like, I've never really fully caught up or been watching DC fandoms or anything like that. I watched a couple recently as we started doing ALWT Gaming, but outside of that, I never sought to go out and look up these fandoms or conventions or Comic-Cons or anything like that. So without further ado, Eddie Macick from GameSpot says, October's DC fandom event will feature the video games Gotham Knight and Suicide Squad's Kill the Justice League alongside the new Batman crossover within Fortnite. It remains to be seen of how much Gotham Knights or Kill the Justice League will see, but fans will be eager for anything Warner Brothers elects to show off or discuss. The Warner Brothers Games account posted a teaser of Gotham Knights. Quote, always watching, always listening, end quote, the tweet says, showing off mysterious person wearing a mask and a suit. Gotham Knights was originally expected to launch in 2021 before getting pushed back to 2022. The game brings together Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood as they face off against famous villains to try to keep Gotham safe. The big twist is that Batman is presumed to be dead. As for Kill the Justice League, Rocksteady's game was announced at DC Fandom in 2020, and we haven't seen much of it since. The game is part of Arkham's universe, which means that we could see connections to that series. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang are main characters in this 1 to 4 player co-op game. End story. So, of the games that we're currently watching right now, Gotham Knights, and then the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Which ones? Well, let's start off with Kill the Justice League. Who all here is excited for that?
Sort of am.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start it off with you then, Mildewy. What has you excited about this, and what are your expectations for this game?
I've always I've enjoyed the Suicide Squad, the movies and the comics. Like I loved it. It's a very interesting take on the universe and all. The Suicide Squad pretty much gonna spoil it for some people here, are pretty much villains in the DC universe that were kind of taken over by Amanda Waller to kind of act as like a Black Ops squad for her, but she controlled them by having a bomb in their head. So they pretty much go out and do the dirty stuff that a superhero wouldn't do to try and keep the world safe. Pretty much Black Ops, as I stated. But just the combination of these personalities and all, I feel like make a very interesting group and very interesting story when they play out and work together. So, Shark, Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, such a unique composition of personalities, skill sets, and all. And with what they're trying to do, I think it's just gonna be such a fun game. Like it kind of has a feeling of like the seriousness of Saints Row in a way, but very I feel like it might have more combat, more stealth capabilities, maybe around the lines of some of the Batman games, where he's gone around sneaking around. It might have that aspect, but it still feels like more like Saints Row or Agents of Mayhem, and where it's pretty much like you're constantly moving, fighting, and destroying things. So I feel like it can be a very good game, especially when you play it multiplayer with a lot of people, with a group of friends. I think that's where it's really going to shine the most.
So let me ask you guys this, because assuming we all get it and we all play together, who all is going as what? Because I would like to have Deadshot.
might be King Shark.
I'd go either Boomerang or Harley Quinn, to be honest.
I might go. Yeah, Boomerang, kind of cool. Might go.
Yeah.
I'm a King Shark.
I would have to see their abilities. King Shark definitely
Yeah.
seems more like the heavy bruiser type. Deadshot's definitely more mobile, like assault type. Harley Quinn seems to be the chaotic one, so either she's kind of like medium range, close range combat, and then Boomerang kind of feels like he's kind of more like the long range, like kind of like long ranges support assassin type combat.
I agree with that to a point. I would switch Boomerang and Deadshot. I think Deadshot would be the long range.
Well, Deadshot, yeah, definitely would say he could definitely do a lot more long range stuff, but he's got more mobility. So I definitely say like assault type, kind of like, you know.
Yeah, I always think he's more of the assault type. Than
he's like the Marine style, like, you know, the soldier of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Boomerang's more of like he's going to be in and out.
Yeah,
like, he's got the Boomerang teleport.
Work for him.
So he can easily get in and out, teleport, kind of assassin-y. Harley Quinn's just going to be the one that's in there. Not tankish, but I think she probably would have some good damage or combos in. And King Shark, I just see as the one who just kind of like, you know, oh, hey, there's a heavy. Boom. Shoves it right off the edge of a building, you know. Gotcha. It's King Shark, you know.
Right.
So,
okay. Yeah. Nine Ball. Thoughts about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, your thoughts about this.
Oh, sorry. I ran into something.
Yeah, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. What are your thoughts?
I think it'll be kind of interesting. I want to see more of it. I was trying to look some up real fast on there. I really want to see how it's going to play out and stuff, how the gameplay and all that. Is it going to play like, it says it's part of Arkham universe. Will it play like the Arkham universe where you have like a big open world with the 4 people, you can move around in it? Will it be like multiple Justice League members you have to go up against or work with, like Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter? Because I know Superman's evil in this one. Will they be using kind of like the Injustice style?
Probably not. I'm thinking from what I've gathered, because here's part of the things that did come out on the last time when they first had announced this, is that whether you have 4 people or whether you're going it by yourself, you're always going to have 4 people on the screen. Always.
So kind of like the Left 4 Dead series.
So more along the lines of Ultimate Alliance.
Well, I'm talking about like in terms of like gameplay, like you're going to have like that squad with you regardless. So
exactly. Well, Ultimate Alliance you do that too.
Yeah. So you're going to have the 4-man squad regardless. Now people just come in. Yeah, it feels like that, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why I'm thinking that I wouldn't even be surprised if this game is like an overhead, like Ultimate Alliance or X-Men Legends or anything like that. I have a feeling it may not be, but at the same time, with some of the stuff that's being revived as far as like game mechanics, gameplay, game styles, like, because again, like for even for Final Fantasy VII Remake, I always use that. They kind of brought back some of the ATB aspects of that game. Like there's still things that's kind of turn-based. Same thing for Saints Row. Like they kind of went back to what they're doing on that. Like they're kind of going back to the basics on that a little bit. And there's something else. I think there was not XCOM. It was I think it was Midnight Sun. Marvel's Midnight Sun. That also had something to where they're like kind of going back to a little bit of an older style, but making it a new, like bringing it to 2021. So I'm kind of curious as far as I'm very curious to see like how they're going to implement that. I just don't know. I don't think it's going to be anything like an Injustice. I do think that it might be something closer along the lines to what Mildew was saying, where it might be like a Left 4 Dead or like I was saying, an Ultimate Alliance. But as of right now, you're correct. You both are correct. We need to see more gameplay of it.
Yep. I'll say this: the trailer though still has me enraptured with it. Like, you can't wait. And just Captain Boomerang's reactions to it all, when at the end they're like, "Did we figure out if you have to kill yet?" They're pointing at Superman. Just looks, goes, "Ow!"
Yeah. That was hilarious. There's some parts in that I was just like, okay, they have actors and actresses that can play these characters pretty well.
Yeah.
And
I love King Shark though. It's like,
yeah, when he looked inside the sky and everything.
He's like all happy, and then like just Superman kills the guy. He's like, they're all like, just damn, just point. He's like, oh come on.
That was hilarious.
It's got that Suicide feel of a good amount of comedy because of the mismatch of their personalities and all in the situations, but it's definitely got that serious of the combat that they have to do and the missions they got to take. Right. So I feel like it's definitely got potential. But agree with Nineball, we definitely want to see more gameplay, some more footage, maybe another trailer or something that explains more of it. Like, why do we have to kill Superman? Because it looks like Brainiac is on the world when you're watching the trailer. So I'm kind of wondering, is it really Superman? Is it a Brainiac version clone of him or something? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I agree. Wholeheartedly agree. All right. And yeah, so that is actually the only story we have today. But the show is not over.
About Gotham Knights.
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Because I don't know. I thought we just talked about Gotham Knights, but no, we were talking about... Okay, nope. So...
We have to talk about the good stuff first.
Yeah, so who's all excited about Gotham Knights?
Oh, God. For some reason, I don't really remember much of Gotham Knights.
Okay. So I will start it off then. Start it
off. I have my things.
So I am very, very excited about this game. I like the combinations. I like the graphics. I like everything about this so far. I like that you could be pretty much all of Batman's like children, if you will. Like you can all the people, all his apprentices, you can be them, which is really cool. The downside about this, and maybe I'll have a different opinion once the actual game comes out and I see how it's done. But the downside about this is that you have 4 Batties, if you will, but the max you can have is just having it be 2-player. I don't.
2-player co-op.
Yeah, that's the part I'm not really too thrilled about. Will I still play it? Yeah. Will I still get through the game? You betcha. But I'm not thrilled that it's only 2-player co-op if I wanted to partner up with my friends. So, but other than that, the combinations look sweet. The characters look awesome. I can't wait to see what they have as far as customizations go, because I wonder if you can customize their abilities, maybe customize their fits. More than likely, you probably can. I'm just curious how that's all going to go. I'm very excited to see more gameplay about it. We just need to see more. Just like how we just talked about Suicide Squad. I want to see some more gameplay. I want to see some more input in what they're doing with that particular game.
Currently looking at some gameplay, kind of warm myself back. It plays a lot like Arkham Asylum and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was definitely going to say is the Arkham Asylum, the what was the other one for Batman?
Arkham City.
Arkham City, yeah. I definitely have a feeling it's going to be like that gameplay style with co-op capabilities and with the other players. I'm definitely with Malachi on this one. As I don't like only 2-player, but I'm wondering, because sometimes we've heard where like only 2-player co-op, but it's been like 2-player co-op local, but online play is like multi, like up to 4. Maybe they might do something like that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing and throwing stuff out there.
Right.
But I definitely like the fact that you can choose, instead of just being Batman, you can choose your playstyle with either one of like, Red Hood, Nightwing, Robin, or Batwoman.
Red Hood.
I think it was Batwoman or Batgirl. I can't remember.
It was Nightwing. Batgirl.
Batgirl. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got those 4 of them, which is cool, and they all have their each individual techniques and everything. So that definitely seems fun, and gives you the possibilities of multiple playthroughs. With different characters.
Yeah.
But I really like the Arkham City and Arkham. Like, I like the feel of it. The reason why I'm kind of 50-50 on it is just because if it's as heavy as it was in Arkham City, I tend to get lost in that game a lot with a lot of the side quests to try and rank myself up and level myself up to be able to do some of the fights pretty well. Because if not, you have to be very on point with some of your reactions and all of the fights if you're kind of like a lower power level, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going to be like that with this, especially since this is them facing off against the Court of Owls,
yeah.
I'm gonna want to raise myself up as much as I can. And if it's going to cause me to burn a lot of time just doing side quests to do that, it's going to be kind of like, one of those games where I might have on the side but not complete right away, you know.
I'm kind of, and that's the thing. I don't know if they're going to have that, for the simple fact of the matter is, I'm not saying that it's impossible to have multiplayer games have side missions to it, but you do have a companion there. Because I mean, I know Borderlands has side missions, everything like that, but majority of the games that I've played that have a co-op mode in it, that is your extra support there. They're not going to try to throw so much lore, so much extra stuff at you that you have to do, that it's hard for you to actually, not hard, but lengthy for you to get through the main campaign, because they want you to experience the main campaign with your buddy. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually not even a single side mission on here. Like if it's just a straight run through, I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that.
Well, if they do it something like what Borderlands did, where it's where you could have multiplayer and still do some side quests, like they had a good amount, that definitely helped. And it was fun. You know, it adds that extra element of fun stuff. It's just like I said, when it was by yourself and solo play, it just, especially with Arkham City, to me, it just felt very long in a way. And I don't know if I'm just a bad player with this or not, but it just, sometimes I got frustrated with some of the bosses. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell. But I will say this: I loved the puzzles and stuff you had to do through a lot of these things with Riddler, in Arkham City. Some of the fights and all. It was very fun. It's definitely a very fun and interesting game. So I guess I just want to see some more gameplay and maybe a bit more story-based concept before I'm truly like invested in it. You know, because don't get me wrong, the trailer is fantastic and looks awesome. It definitely makes me feel like Arkham City with multiplayer capabilities in it. But I definitely want to see more and kind of know more before I get too invested, because, like I said, that just the amount of time I can burn in the other game is, it's fun, but it just feels like I'm not getting to the story point.
Right.
You know, it feels like I'm being dragged off and, you know, just doing random fist fights just to try and get a power up. You know, because some of the stuff I was looking at were like, oh, you have to stop X amount of fights in this amount of time, or do this amount of runs this amount of time. I'm like, oh dear God, it's one of those things. Like that's one of the things I was trying to skip when I was playing Spider-Man, is something like those. Oh, I forgot his name already. Taskmasters. Some of the Taskmaster trials is because I'm like, it's all like this time stuff. I'm like, as much fun as I'd be on the side, I just don't. I didn't have the interest in them right then and there. I'm like, I don't want to try and have to do these time trials to try and get a bonus boost or something, you know. So,
okay. We already had 9-ball claim Red Hood. Who are you going to there, Mildewey? Since I chose Deadshot in the first one, I'll choose last on this one.
I'm gonna have to say, just from looking at some of the gameplay, I definitely would have to probably go Batgirl, just because seeing her just flying around with that big cape and just like hang gliding around was awesome. But also Robin, because I mean, nothing like going invisible and saying, "Nope, I'm not here."
Heard that. And that kind of works out because I want to be Nightwing. So there you go.
I kind of figured, and I'll say this: when I was playing Arkham Asylum, I played the DLC for Harley Quinn, where Harley actually fought against Nightwing. He was okay, but I'm like, I feel like his playstyle just wouldn't fit me. Just sometimes.
Heard that.
Like I feel like he's very in the front pace, fast mobile very combo heavy type. You know, whereas Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood are probably more gadget based, you know, with some combos mixed in, but you know, not like
Red Hood's all about them guns, man. Just...
Yeah, Red Hood combo is left trigger, right trigger, reload, repeat.
And but they are gonna. I mean, you know that they're gonna go ahead and transform them all for this particular game. So for how they were in previous games may not exactly mean what they're gonna be in this.
I sort of.
My bad. It's gonna be left trigger, right trigger, toss grenade, shoot grenade, right trigger, left trigger. My bad.
Thank you. I mean, to be honest, I sort of like the fact that they are bringing attention to Batman's other people.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I want to see, like, I really want to see. I hope this actually works, though. It looks fun. I watched some of the trailer for it. Looks pretty fun. I mean, Arkham Asylum's a big enough world to where you can't put two people in there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work together to do stealth missions, stuff like that, sneaking in. Hopefully, you have the guy that's smart enough you're doing a stealth mission.
Stealth missions with Red Hood?
I think, and one of my hopes for this game is to amplify how the creators have their actual characters. For example, In Dragon Ball Z, everyone knows that Goku is strong. Everyone knows that majority of those Z fighters are already really strong. But then when you watch the show over and over and over, you kind of lose sight of that power. It's just like, all right, we've been through this. Raditz is weak, whatever. But then when if you're in that moment, like if you watch Dragon Ball Z for the first time and you first come across Raditz, you're not thinking of Frieza down the line. You're not thinking of Cell down the line. You're thinking like, crap, how are they going to beat this guy? Like, this guy's really strong. He's not in the whole grand scheme of things, but at that moment, he's pretty strong. So, with that being said, when I went to Xenoverse for the first time, and I'm going against some of these people, and they're strong, and they might be beating me or doing some damage to me, I'm like, crap. I'm hanging with them, but I'm barely hanging on. And then you just see Goku on the scene, or Gohan on the scene, or whatever, Vegeta on the scene, and they're able to take them out with ease. And you're just like, okay, if you compare that in actual like gameplay, I was this strong, I was able to beat him barely, and Goku just came in and wiped him out, or Vegeta just came in and wiped him out. That's how strong they are. Or even in the, so you're kind of experiencing. Obviously, it's all fictional, but I'm just saying you're kind of experiencing that power in your gameplay, and I kind of want to see that in this game. I want to see, like, okay, we are Batman's proteges. You know what I mean? We're taking on these villains. We're doing X, Y, and Z. If Joker shows up on the scene, or Bane shows up on the scene, or something like that, and we're against him, and we're struggling hard, and then all of a sudden, maybe Batman's not really dead. He comes out, 2-hit combo, or does something like super creative. We're just like, okay. We struggled against this guy, 4v1, 2v1, whatever, but Batman just came in and bam. So now you're just like, okay, Batman is a dog. And it kind of re-emphasized how the creators had their characters in the first place when they were writing this comic, writing this anime, or whatever. So I kind of want to see that again, because that's the feeling I have with Xenoverse. I would like to have that feeling again with Arkham Knights. So
I definitely say they're definitely doing, but definitely killing off Batman, or at least from what we understand, killing off Batman from, it seems like Talon and the Owls took him out, but definitely giving them that front line and showing their strengths and abilities, and seeing whatever upgrades they're going to give them.
Yeah,
kind of definitely would give you more insight to them, because the Bat family is definitely a lot bigger than just and I don't know if that's Robin or Red Robin, which one that is for him, Batgirl, and then Nightwing, Red Hood.
Yeah, that would be a good question, because I know that Tim. I want to say, I know Damon was the second Batman. I believe Tim Drake is the Nightwing.
No, Dick Grayson is Grayson's
Nightwing.
Tim Drake is Red Robin, and Damian is Robin. When he came from being Al Ghul, because his name is Damian Al Ghul Wayne, because his mother is
Talia Al Ghul,
and Bruce is his father. So he's technically the only true blood child of Batman so far. But yeah, he came in as Robin. But then of course you got Cassandra, who is orphaned. You've got Duke, who's Signal. But it's like I don't know if they're even in this universe. I don't know if we're at that point yet in the time where this is an AU, where he didn't get to them because he's dead, So this goes off them. Because I remember, it's been a long time since I've delved into this universe, but I could have sworn there was a time where Dick Grayson actually hung up Nightwing and took over as Batman, because Batman disappeared. But I may have been something else I read.
I know in a cartoon anyway, he got taken over by Brainiac, because Superman took over for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he was killed once. I can't remember how they revived Batman, but he got killed once. He got shot in the head. And God, it's been forever since I read that one.
But also, even if you,
a lot of history.
Yeah, I was about to say, even if you were to get that down, it's still going to be hard to nail it down, because there's how many multi-universes there are in the DC world, in the Marvel world, and stuff.
Yep, we ain't talking about the Batman who laughs.
Yeah.
It's not.
But yeah. So that's our recap now of DC fandom for Gotham Knights that's coming out for. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, that's going to be coming out beginning next year. Let's hope that it comes out next year, not get pushed back. If it does get pushed back, I mean, obviously take the time that you need, make sure it's good, polished, up to
It'll probably
consumer
still launch
standings.
that year, even if they push it back, but probably about a couple months.
Yeah, and that's kind of my take too as well. Because sometimes it will just be a strategy pushback if it's too close to a major game that's coming out for a console or something that's very similar. But yeah, that's like I said earlier, prematurely, that is actually the news we had for the day. But the show is not over, as we have a few videos of some games that you guys may or may not know that's coming out. And right now, all three of them are actually being made by a Chinese studio. And I can't. It's hard for me to tell if they're part of the PlayStation program that they're doing for the. I think it's CPHJ. I think that's what it's called, CPHJ. And because it's none of their, like, I can't find a list of names of that's underneath the CPHJ, but I want to share it with you guys. We're going to react to it. We're going to talk a little bit about it. And of course, anyone that's coming in, chiming in, you guys are welcome to leave your comments inside this section. Or if you guys are listening to this a little bit later, as you're not watching live, you guys can just shoot us an email or shoot us an inbox, anything like that. So it's just going to be one moment while I get this a little set up. Okay, so
CPHJ.
Yeah, I believe it's CPHJ.
Well, I found Community Power for Health and Justice and Canadian Public Health Journal.
If it's not CPHJ, then it's CHPJ. But I think it's CPHJ, Chinese program something something.
Can you just post it at the bottom?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it real fast. It was CHPJ. It is CHPJ.
I'm just curious because this is actually the first time I've heard of
China
this.
Hero China Hero Project PlayStation. I don't know.
China Hero.
Yeah, China Hero Project is what it is for PlayStation. So anyone that's curious about that, again, it's the China Hero Project. And I'm assuming the J is for Japan. But don't quote me on that. I really don't know what the J stands for. But I know that CHP is the China Hero Project. But
I'm
yeah,
looking at it.
Yeah, they have a few different developers that's working on that. But again, like, there's been stuff that's been coming out under IGN, which, by all the way, all these videos I'm about to show you guys and share with you guys are from IGN. But that's been interviewing these independent studios, but they're all China. So I'm very curious to see who's funding this. And I have a strong suspicion. I've heard before that it was CHP. I don't know if it really is. That's the thing, because there hasn't been any confirmation. All you know is the studio, and you just see the gameplay.
Let's see here.
The first one we are going to look at, I know you guys are still looking it up, so I'll give you guys some time. But the first one we're going to look at is going to be called Lost Soul Aside.
It says who the partners are.
Yeah, you have the partners. Yeah, you have the partners for CHP. So you have that, but they don't talk about who's fully under, like, who's part of the program, like who the developers truly are. But the first one we're going to look at is Lost Soul Aside.
They're keeping it quiet because of reasons.
yeah. I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit before it's actually, like, I think they just need confirmation first before anything additional happens. All right, and just.
But I definitely do kind of support it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it looks like there's a good group of them that support it. It looks like some. Let's see here. Who was some of the names in here? Let's see. It was Epic Games, CRI Middleware, Digital Hearts, HLDGS, Silicon Studios, Streamline Studios, Wacom, Unity Technologies. Pretty much support Chinese-funded game developers, mainly startups, to enter the whole Chinese committing to create successful game works, Star World, cultivation development of Chinese game industry. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely on board with that. I'm always on board for helping startups.
Did like Kickstarter?
Sorta. I'm trying to get this going.
Patreon.
Something.
And right now it's just pending. I'm trying to get this video going and flowing and moving and
Can
grooving. Yeah, it says stream pause, swap your application to resume. Maybe if I play it, we'll be good.
I feel like I've seen first one.
I'm good. I'm actually gonna turn this down. Actually, no, let's do this. We're gonna rewind it. Bam. And we're gonna try this one more time. Stop it. Share screens. If I just no, that's not gonna. Well, yeah, I guess this will work. Bam.
This first one I feel like I've seen. I was actually looking at this here. I feel like you might have mentioned this one to me.
Oh yeah, I won't be surprised. Here we go.
Seeing this set there, ladies and gentlemen, don't look. It's horrendous.
And bam. Unreal Engine.
Yeah,
you guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
No.
Stop it. You stop
I can see it. I can't hear it.
Yeah, the volume's off.
Yeah, I had it low. You guys still not hear it?
Nope. I wonder if it's because you got your headsets in and it's internal.
No, I was able to share it before that way. The stream should be able to hear it though.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah. So very Final Fantasy-esque. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit.
I think I've seen this one before, and I think this. I got some comments on this one. I feel like.
Yeah. I think this is. I mean, I showed all of these before to us, but it just comes down to who all watched it. So if you guys seen it, then that's good, and I want to get. I definitely want to talk about it right after this trailer. But this is called Lost Soul Aside. I hear music coming in. So we're gonna turn it down a little bit even more. There we go. And yeah, and I'm just like yeah. So looking at this right now, just go ahead and talk it through it. Let me go ahead and tell because you won't be able to hear it anyway. I'm just gonna turn down the volume because there is music in there. So go ahead and give us your thoughts about so far what you're seeing right now. We're gonna start with you, Mildewey.
Oh, this game I definitely was very interested in. It's got a feeling of Devil May Cry-ish in terms of the combat sequences, with a lot of like the abilities. Like you've got a large battle area for the final boss, and then you're trying to fight them off. You've got all their abilities, which I think is kind of similar to most like single player like action styles in a way, to where like you've got some really epic boss fights. So it definitely already has me on that point, which is like cool actions. But I'm wondering, is it going to be like reaction commands, or are you just going to be dodging around and using an ability to dodge or something? Because they don't show much of that. They just show them doing really cool effects, which is nice. But it feels like it might just be standard, just combat sequences, and you have like a base dodge roll you have to use to get out of some fights. It definitely seems interesting. Like I'm not sure if everyone was able to read it while it was on there, but because they are speaking in their native tongue, which was Chinese, I believe, so they have subtitles, but something about church and all, so it's definitely got this feeling like there's something going on in the world, because they both have like these abilities. His is silver, his is gold, so there's some entities involved. So just from the base fight here, it's got me kind of interested to see what this world's got to offer to us. So I'll have to wait and see for more,
Yeah, I agree. I do have my thoughts that I want to share too as well on it, but I'm going to pitch this on over first to Nineball. What are your thoughts about this so far as you were watching this?
For me, it's basically like somewhat like Mildewey said. It looks a lot like 15 and Devil May Cry had a baby.
Yeah.
The hero looks a lot has kind of like a Noctis style look.
Yeah,
definitely got that Final Fantasy feel.
Yeah, it has that look all the way through it.
Even in the environment.
The combat is definitely Devil May Cry style.
100%, yeah.
I really don't have much to say. I mean, yeah, the combat looks flashy, but I really don't know what's going on. I think it looks nice, it looks amazing, but it's to be expected. for Final, especially they're gonna be using Unreal 4 engine, which about everybody's gonna be using.
Well, this is Unreal. This will probably be Unreal 5 by the time this comes out.
Unreal 5 or whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm losing track of what engine it's on.
Yeah, I think 5 is the newest one.
Yeah, it came out this year.
Yeah. From what I could tell, that guy probably holds a position of power normally if you're using a lot of gold. It generally means that. And his robes are all clean and
yeah, you mentioned the church, so
yeah.
And I don't know why that little dragon thing next to him is reminding me a lot of what is that MMORPG we were playing?
You're talking about Star Wars?
Final Fantasy 14?
No, not Final Fantasy 14.
Star Wars Old Republic?
Something. Oh god, Black something.
Black Desert.
Black Sun or Black Desert?
Black Desert, yeah.
Okay.
Because it reminds me of a little thing that talks to you.
Yeah.
I haven't played that.
The little demon thing.
Yeah, that talks to you when you wake up and stuff.
I'm echoing everything that you guys said. I think it does look like having Devil May Cry aspects to it. I do strongly feel the inspiration of Final Fantasy 15, 100%. In fact, when they first had started working on this game,
is he skateboarding now? Seriously?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just randomly just skateboarding.
But
it's Warframe now.
Yeah.
now we got Tony Hawk in here, guys.
Exactly. But even for the what's it called, the like there's just like when you first saw the trailer. So this is actually the latest trailer. But when you saw the first trailer, that was done in 2016. If I'm not mistaken, I think Final Fantasy 15 came out in 2016 or 2018. I want to say it was definitely. I think it was like 2018 when Final Fantasy 15 came out. I have to double check that. But it's definitely an older game, and so that was highly anticipated for years because it was Versus 13, and you saw all these different type of aspects that they have for the game.
Really?
And then it came out, and it was just like it was good. It just was not up to 8-9 years worth of waiting.
He's got Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be like in-game theme because I'm pretty sure it's gonna have and get all those abilities.
Either that
go
or
through the game.
like Metroid, you start out with like all your guns and then you lose them all, you gotta regain them all back.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be too bad. That wouldn't be a bad way of kind of doing it. Like if you're someone who's in part of a group, but this one because the guy mentioned church and like you said, Nineball, he was very well clean and like had a lot of power and like this arrogance to him, like he's kind of like a leader or like someone high up in this organization. I feel like this is going to be something where this guy probably came into this ability, and then he's now having to fight against it and like level himself up with it.
Could be.
Yeah.
The lose the memory thing might have made sense if there was like a prequel to it, like if you're kind of already into a universe with the pre-built character in a way, like kind of like Metroid is in a way. They had some pre-games to it, but this one I feel like it's more of he's evolving to fight whatever this is, and until we know more about this church or like whatever the heck they're part of and what they're fighting for and these spirits are, I mean, it's definitely a cool action game. It's got a lot of cool combat sequences, but I kind of want to know more about the story.
And that's actually was going to be my next comment. Like, all we could do right now is speculate on how the game looks, how the gameplay goes, how the action is, just because there hasn't been any mention of this story at all. It's just like you see a guy that's part of potentially a church. You see this guy, which we have no idea. Like, this is your guy. You know that much. But we don't know his backstory. We don't know where he's coming from. All right now is they're just showing off what the game can do. So I wouldn't read too much inside the story.
A lot of colors.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much inside the story aspect of it just yet, just because they haven't presented that yet, and it may be because it's just not ready. So I'm just kind of curious to see how it's going to be when that time comes. But I am taking it for what it is on the action, and this looks stellar to me on the action.
Yeah, it definitely looks really good. I still am very curious about the story because I'm like, you've got this person thing he's fighting. You had the one guy. You've got the definitely futuristic style airships, but they're inside a ruin. Inside like a ruined city. So I'm like, what is the story of the world? You know, that I'm kind of interested now in the lore to see what has this be part of the mix. Was there calamity or something? So. Is this like just like a forgotten realm because of some past tragedy, type of thing? I don't know. I'm very curious about it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's got an interesting mix in terms of aesthetics, in terms of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you on that, and I echo all of that. And of course I am interested in the story as well, especially me being probably in the mid-range minority portion of it. That I do like the story of Final Fantasy 15. I just wish that they expanded Final Fantasy 15 campaign. That was my issue with it. That was pretty much one of my only few issues with Final Fantasy 15 is that they didn't expand the base story. You can beat the base story in like a couple days versus other Final Fantasies where it would take you a while to beat it because of strategy, because of, they're letting the story breathe. They're giving you all the content that you want. It was just fantastic stuff.
So they're against those robot thingies. Okay, this world just got even more interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of had the feeling of that Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer game that we played, where it's like you got this world that's
Comrade.
Comrade.
Yeah, where it's like a world kind of like broken down because of all these creatures and all, but you got two different sides of it. You know, two different groupings in a way. You know, it feels like there might be something related to that. Oh wait. Wait, there's a demon monkey?
Yeah, a little monster hunter.
Yeah, a little bit of Doom. What the heck are they? What are they making over there?
I know. I am down for all of this right now.
Okay,
look at this, dude. This is kind of cool.
Okay, now we got the Zerg. Really?
Yeah. So very interesting stuff, and definitely seems like a lot going on. And I see the combos are ridiculous and almost endless. Like I don't think he's done really the same combo more than once this entire trailer, and we're like 10 minutes in.
I wonder if they're going to give these characters like different trees of fighting styles that you can evolve from, or if it's just going to be one set. Because I saw like, you know, it looked like a single player blade, like he's got that giant blade, but it feels like he's kind of modified it a bit sometimes.
Yeah. Really,
he pulls a shield out of nowhere?
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
And that's the thing. It's very Final Fantasy 15 inspired. Like there's no doubt about it.
I definitely feel Devil May Cry though, where he pulls random shit out.
Well, 15 does that too. Like it literally is very. Yeah, it's literally like it's very inspired.
Devil May Cry is very
over the top. Yeah, I think the one I played was 4. I want to say, where it's like you had the two guys, like perspectives. The younger guy and the older guy. Was that 4?
Come on, Virgil and Dante.
Yeah.
God, it's good forever since I touched those.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was, but that was the main one.
Because I had the HD collection.
It definitely feels like this. Like you've just got these over like combos, like these over stylized combos and stuff and all to deal damage and just make it look pretty while you're beating the shit out of someone.
Do you have like a devil trigger? You have like a rating. That's right.
Oh look, it's Sephiroth's twin brother, Beelzebub.
He looks like someone from Diablo.
Well, now we're bringing Diablo into it. So what do we got? We got Final Fantasy 15. We've got Devil May Cry. We've got Doom. We've got StarCraft. We got Diablo now. What else can we mix in?
It's too clean. I would go 14. Talk about like a 14 villain.
Well, actually, right now, like the top portion of him literally looks like Final Fantasy 7 weapon. He literally looks like one of the weapons from Final Fantasy 7. I kid you not, and I'm not just saying that just to throw extra stuff in there. Literally looks like Omega weapon.
Well, I was just reading some of the subtitles, and that beast thing that he's got with him that helps him gives his power, and all said we don't communicate. There's something going on here.
You cut out there for a minute. You said we don't communicate. What?
Sorry, I was reading the some of the subtitle text there, and the spirit dragon that he's got, the spirit dragon that this guy's got with him, said like when I came in and got on the reading as I'm talking, he said we don't communicate like humans do. And I'm like, okay, so now we got some like spirits or alien technologies or something going on here, which isn't too far-fetched when you look at giant metal angel Doom trying to kill you. You know.
The only thing that I can think of, looking at this trailer, first and foremost. Definitely don't want to take away from the trailer because the trailer itself to me is awesome. Like all of this looks gorgeous. My one take though is if there's a hard mode or extreme mode, so far what we have played is going to be very stressful. on hard mode or like a insta death mode or something. Like this is gonna be very like just up to that point from when we first fought that guy at the church all the way to right now fighting this Omega weapon looking thing. If there is a hard mode on here, that's going to be ridiculous because I didn't see a single save point on the way.
Oh
New
my
Game
god!
Plus.
You just said
Yeah, New Game
You
Plus
made
or something. Yeah.
You just made me think of Alma for Ninja Gate.
Yeah, man.
Ninja Gaiden.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so are you saying this is going to be? Do you think this would be roguelike?
I don't think it'll be
Actually,
roguelike.
no, not roguelike. I don't know why I said roguelike. Sorry. Do you think this
Souls-like?
has a possibility of like Souls-like in terms of like, you know, the difficulties of battles and all of being like holy crap?
As far as difficulties go, like battle wise, I think that if they have a New Game Plus mode or a hard mode, then yeah, I think that will be in there. Obviously,
Do you think they're going to do that at the beginning point?
You said
Like
what?
you said, we haven't seen anything in terms of
Like a save point?
upgrades.
Yeah.
Or anything like that, or save points and all. So do we think it's going to use kind of like that mentality of like it's already going to be a hard fight for any boss no matter what you're going to do? Because like with a lot of the lower level opponents in Souls, you're able to really kind of take them on once you do a certain amount of leveling or you're at a certain power. But bosses, even themselves, no matter what power you're at, it can make it a little bit easier, but it's not going to make it like completely just, you know, you're OPing, you know?
Yeah.
Do we think just from this fight, because this guy's throwing out a lot of shit, and that other guy was throwing out a lot of shit.
Well, even so, right before this guy came out, there's 3 what you could call, I guess you could call mini minions that were there, and on that third one, it started like dodging and going underground and stuff. So he killed 2 of them, no problem, but that third one was sticking around for a bit. So even some of the mini minions were still being able to put up a fight from what it looks like. So I literally have no idea how they're going to do this and how it's going to be balanced as far as not stressing out the gamer, because this something will get someone's heart race going.
It depends. Either that or it's going to just not do nothing. Hopefully it's not too simple.
Now, do we think it's going to have a lot of reaction commands, or like I said, do we?
I won't
like,
be
what
surprised.
are you guys feeling?
I don't think I honestly don't think there's going to be a single action command in here. I think there's going to be some cinematics in there, but I think everything else is going to be 100% your control.
So you don't think there's going to be like reaction points of like trigger shots, hitting trigger points?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, where it's like, hitting square at this time. I don't think there's going to be any of that.
Gotcha.
That's just my opinion, but I don't think there's going to be any of that.
He's definitely Final Fantasy.
Now it's my turn.
Yeah, I'm definitely very curious and interested to see more on it, but I would definitely want to see more story points to it, because we've seen some gameplay and it looks fantastic in combat footage and everything. But I definitely want to know more of the lore. Like that's really kind of got me very interested in it, just seeing what this story of this world is.
I'm gonna try to see if I can do it again for this one, because this one has dialogue, English dialogue. So I'm gonna try to see if this will let me go live with this one. But if not, I'll just do what I just did before, and I'm hoping this will work. Give me something good. But yeah, as this is trying to connect and load up and all that good stuff, if you had to give this a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate that trailer? Anybody?
Oh, sorry. It's not you. I was looking up something. I thought it was pretty good. I'll probably give it probably about a 7.5, 8. I'll give it around an 8. I'll give it an 8.
Good old fashioned 8. I'm gonna try it one more time.
Right.
It looks like it wants to go. I'm gonna try to drop it to. I'm gonna drop it to 15 and see if that does anything better.
I'll give it a 7 for right now. Like I said, combat capabilities and gameplay style definitely, and aesthetics definitely look awesome. But I really want to know more about the story lore. That's kind of going to really kind of seal the rest of it for me. I think it definitely could have the qualities of being like an 8 or 9. But I think that'll be dependent upon story and the rest of the gameplay mechanics and everything.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Bam.
So yeah, I think those will definitely play more into how I look at it fully from there.
This one right here is called Faith of Dischant Hereafter. I'm going to try to unmute it, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to hear it. I have a feeling you won't, because what I'm doing is I'm sharing my screen versus the other way I was going to share the application. So let's go ahead and try to do it through that unmuted. Put it right here, and just let me know if you guys... I'm going to turn it up all the way for a second, and just let me know if you guys can hear it or not. I'm playing it right now. Yay, nay?
Nay.
Let me try it one more time.
I found the trailers on my end, so I'm just kind of watching it on my end.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do it.
No, I've seen this one.
I did not think minor demons could get through. What happened to the guards?
So this one I recently came across.
Rest in peace. These damn demons.
Like that whole... I love running, like that little running up the trees, hopping across it. The way that the trees were bending.
Those are bamboos, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as he did that, I kind of got a feeling of Sly Cooper when you're in the forest getting the Panda King for your team. I don't know why, but that's what I had.
Dad.
Oh no!
Please don't
Aw.
be mad at me. I just came to bring this.
Don't ever introduce kids into this.
Okay, this is going to be one of those games I'm going to cry just right now.
I'm so worried. You left in a hurry. Dad.
Me personally, after when I watched it through the first time, I still kind of stand by this. I wish that I don't know how old this game was revealed. I think it was done this year. I wish that the English voice actors were recast. I don't know how the Japanese voice actors sound, but I wish that the English voice actor was recast.
I'm kind of going to say I feel like her voice sounds a bit older than she looks.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's just me, but...
Yeah,
or because she's supposed to be, because she's more mature. You know, I don't know. All I know is that just, you know, if you've ever seen Nejima, the anime, the English voice acting for that one I cannot stand. Like Nejima's voice, like they made him like this, like tried to do this over exaggerated British almost, it felt like, and I just was like, oh my gosh, it's no.
Get away! We're okay. Go and save Xia now. Be careful. Better catch up fast.
Of course, the kid gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
Return my daughter, demon! Sorry, Captain. I couldn't stop it. I understand.
Why would you stop to say I understand? Like your daughter is taken. Just keep running.
I would have said that as I kept running, you know, I wouldn't stop.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Great! You are here! Please be careful. Captain.
I mean, I know obviously for viewership, they want to stop to make sure that they can understand, listen, have that engagement. But if putting myself inside the game, I would not have stopped.
I can understand maybe if they give you the option to constantly keep going.
Now here, right here, I do agree with some of the people that were talking. That I've seen in the comments on here. Some of the reactions that they have on these hit markers for the minions need to be better. there's a couple where you saw them kind of flinch a little bit, but then there's quite a few that they didn't flinch at all. Like right there, like he's taking those hits, he's just standing up. But yeah, so they need to kind of have that reaction be a little bit better.
Like based on certain damages, have your
yeah, just something even if it's something that's like not killing them or they're able to take a hit, still some sort of like a minor flinch, nothing major, but
he just was standing like,
yeah,
oh, what is that on me?
Like, I'm sorry, did you do something?
Get it off.
I'm like, this guy isn't Kratos. He can't just walk it off, you know?
Exactly, yeah. I like the little shadow step that they have. And I do like that when he kicks, another form of parrying that he does is that he'll kick the weapon. So that way it stops their swing. I do like that.
Ooh, nice little combo there with the running.
Okay, Mortal Kombat transition. Did somebody forget he kind of kidnapped little girls on that bag as they fall? You know, little girl might go down with them.
She's a tough little girl. She could take it.
Are you okay?
She pulled a freaking Gohan out there, just went Super Saiyan on them. I'm okay, Dad. I'm just kidnapped by a demon.
Yeah.
This is normal. It's Thursday.
I got Dragon Ball GT theme song stuck in my brain for some reason. I don't even know why.
Now we got a demon plant.
Come out from the fog and show yourself.
I got a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
You got a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Yeah.
Hot to the cards!
So anxious for this little
I
thing.
place one card face down and then my turn.
It is very appetizing.
I'm gonna burn you to ashes.
Yeah, you gonna burn her to ashes.
If you dare touch her, I'll make you suffer more than you
I actually watched the. I have something to say about this.
Okay.
Got the wall run. Double jump.
You can talk now there, Nineball, if you want to give your thoughts about it.
God, the voice acting.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we've already talked about the voice acting.
Oh, the American voice acting was so bad.
Yeah, for this one, it's gotten better over the course of the years for anime and for games, but for this one in particular, I think that's why I said before I wish that they would recast it because it's just not.
Oh, that little
not
girl
hitting.
sounded so plastic.
Yeah, it's not hitting the
Plastic
way
and
that
older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she sound a bit older? Like, I'm not trying to be like...
No, you're right. I agree with you. I think she
You're
does sound
right.
a
It's
little
just
bit older.
her voice sounded like she was just reading the lines.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the charm.
She doesn't have the emotion or the feeling. It feels like...
Yeah,
I agree with that.
saying,
Paul.
charm.
Yeah, you
Charm
can
is
see
the
that
word I
she's
would
trying. You can see that she's trying, but it's not. It's just not
I mean,
hitting.
like, I mean, if she's used to demons, I mean, there's a different tone. It's like, and I've heard in some animes, some people kidnapped before, and they're just like, "Yes, I'm kidnapped again. Hurry up!" You know, there's an exasperation, or there's like, hello, you're kidnapped, or like, oh my god, I'm kidnapped. You know, that sort of thing. You know, she seems like the girl who's kind of be afraid, but you know, kind of like. You know, and I found her line funny of like, I'm okay. It's like I was kidnapped. I'm like, if you had said that with a bit more emotion or like sarcasm, I've been much more like, oh my gosh.
The voice
like,
actors to me on this one, American voice actors are bad.
On this one, I will agree.
Demon, do not hurt her.
Well,
I can the main character, I can get by. That's passable. But the little girl is just not hitting for me.
That's no.
Leave her alone.
No, they should have told whoever that is. They should have truthfully told her, we need you to just redo it for us.
I need you to swallow some helium while you're at it. You know.
Now notice there's like a little fog that they ran into. Now granted, I know the whole demeanor of this is very dark and everything like that, dark and beautiful at the same time. But I wonder if it's going to have any Souls-like elements in this one as well, just because of how he just went inside this boss fight.
Oh god,
Well,
it's
not Souls, but Code Vein.
Code
Code
Vein.
Souls does.
Don't they do the fog? They don't do the fog?
They do fog. They do fog of war. The fog wall in Souls 2 and Bloodborne. Yeah, they do those there. But it definitely reminds me more of Code Vein-ish. Souls though, depending upon the fight and how it goes, some of them definitely do it. Where you have the fog wall. I know definitely in 3 they had it. Bloodborne had it a lot, which I don't mind. Now it'd be interesting to see how they do a multiplayer in this game if they were to do that, because we've only seen them, the one person, do one style.
Yeah.
So does that mean you're going to have a customizable character and you have multiple styles, or is it just going to be 5 of the same guys fighting?
I honestly, this one I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a multiplayer. I think this one's just gonna be single player.
I mean, that's what it feels like, because it's one person.
Yeah. Plus, on top of that, how many
like...
mechanics they have in here, where you're tree jumping, you're dashing, you're tree wall running, all that good stuff. Like
that's bamboo.
All of
hopping,
that.
Sir. I need you to get your.
Well, even right now, these aren't bamboo that he's jumping on. These are like little vines.
They're roots. Okay.
This one's a tree. This is a tree. What he was jumping on before wasn't a tree.
All I'm saying is that I don't, with these mechanics in there, I don't see it. I don't see this being multiplayer. I think it'd be cool if it's multiplayer, but I don't think this is gonna be multiplayer.
Yeah, I just don't feel it. It's very curious, the world, though.
Definitely telegraphed, though.
There's a lot. Yeah, she's very slow, it feels like.
Yeah, it's heavily telegraphed.
It doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't help either that we just watched Lost Soul Aside, which is fast-paced as crap, and then we just watched this right after.
Well,
this is like Gran Turismo against Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, this is very slow. Like hell, even Dark Souls and Bloodborne had much faster. You know, not much telegraphs on their stuff. Like you had to guess a lot of times. Plus the fact that she's very standstill.
Yeah,
is very unique. I haven't seen a boss like that in a good long. Most bosses nowadays you fight, they start off standstill as a first phase and go into a full movement second phase, and that's when you really go shit. You know. Me
and Nineball actually just fought a boss like that the other day on Final Fantasy 14. It was at the end of that dungeon. It was the wall.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel like MMOs could pull it off better than these things could.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, now we're going to Zero's Wrath.
Dun,
dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I thought he was going to go all Demon Slayer.
So that is Faith of this Dance Chant hereafter. So I know we were kind of commentating and giving our thoughts just now in between as they were playing and everything like that. But does anyone have any additional comments before we move on to the final trailer?
I mean, I definitely am curious about the lore of the world, but I definitely say they gotta work on some of the voice acting for sure. And I feel like the combat could use some fine tuning.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's got potential for sure, but I'm probably gonna say if you ask me to pay a full price on that, now I'm gonna.
Not with that acting, not with that voice acting, no.
And not with just and I'll agree with Nineball. The very telegraph movements were kind of annoying. You know, I know we just watched Lost Soul Sides like Malachi said, which is fast paced and all, but even in other games like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, they're not really that telegraphed. You have to really look into them to try and find some of those movements and that.
Yeah, you can see these attacks coming a mile away. Like I don't even see how people die to her.
I don't know how we got hit by those spikes. He's like, all right, she's gonna do her slam backwards already, unless your character's that delayed, which at that point cannot do that to me.
I mean, if I was with somebody else and I watched like Ted die, I couldn't even feel sad for him. Like, we should just leave him here. If he died with that, I don't know. I don't even know why we're even taking them.
If you guys had to put a rating on a scale of 1 to 10 for this particular trailer, watching it, quirks and all, what would you guys rate this? And we'll start with 9-ball.
6, easy.
Easy 6.
They need it's a they need to fix certain things. I'm glad it's still in. What's it like in beta right now?
I think it's still. I mean, it's only the gameplay trailer right now. I'm pretty sure that this is all alpha, all that good. I don't even think it's even in. I mean, it's not even in alpha. It's like still in project. It's still in development.
All right, good. They need to fix for starters. A big one for me, voice acting. Because that voice was bad. That is some bad voice acting. There's no excuse for that. There's way more people you can get for voice acting than that.
I agree.
And even if she's gonna stay in there, you gotta put some effort into it. You can't sound like you can't sound like a robot. They need to if you're gonna go fast pace, I would say go fast pace. Hit markers, like you said earlier, because like he was getting hit and not even noticing, like he was getting beat up. Like, oh,
exactly.
Oh God, I think a bug hit me.
Yeah, either that or not even that he's not noticing, but just have some weight to it. Like if he's not gonna like flinch because he's hurt, at least have him think like to hit. Like if I'm about to punch you and I get hit, then I might go back for a minute, but I'm still hitting my punch. Like show that it actually hit him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's where it kind of comes to as far as like again some interaction, some impact when you're making that punch or making that swing or whatever. Because right now it just seems like 9-ball said the dude's on steroids. He's not feeling a thing.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you could hit him and he wouldn't. It's like it doesn't seem like the enemies have a counter to his attacks, but he has a counter to theirs.
Yeah, almost. Mildew, a scale of 1 to 10, what would you put this?
I'm gonna go with a 5 on this one, just because definitely the voice acting, definitely the combat mechanics, with the hitboxes, and then also with the telegraphing of that final boss was just wow. I feel like I could have read a book while playing that game with my feet.
Go on to barbecue some steaks. When you're ready to attack, I'll be back up.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready to attack. I'll be dripped, But and then just I'm not saying that the graphics are bad, but they definitely seemed not like. And I'm not trying to be mean here with it, but I'm like, it feels like they could have done more with the world a bit in terms of the aesthetical graphics, because they definitely had that for the boss. Like she was very like prettied up, and like the main character, but some of the side characters just seemed like they were kind of like generic copies and pastes almost, So in terms of world building, you maybe want to do more, but I don't know the world, so maybe that is just how it's going to be. Is they're just going to be the generic NPCs, while your character and the bosses and your daughter are the main heavy detail points.
Yeah, I don't know. With a few supporting characters that might have their own characteristics to them.
Yeah, but I mean, I just
86.
Most of the games nowadays, you see even supporting characters, unless you're playing like an MMO, have better characteristics or some decent characteristics to them, But that comes back to the acting in terms of voice acting, in a way, is like you've got to have better interactive mechanics in terms of the characters, and of like better animations and emotions with them to go along with personalities. And also, I definitely feel the game has some work to it.
Heard that. I didn't rate the first game, so I'm gonna give that my rating of, as far as everything that I've seen for that one, I actually give that a 9 for Lost Soul aside, just because of combat, which is what I could. Yeah, I can only take it as it is, which is combat. If the story comes out and it's not hitting me the way that I would want it to hit me, then that rating will drop. But as of right now, I can only take it for combat and aesthetic and capability, and it looks amazing to me for Lost Soul aside. This game, I would have to agree with 9-ball. I give it a 6. I think it's interesting. I think it has a lot of potential, but I think they have a lot of work to do. That voice acting just wasn't working for me. The hit box just wasn't working for me to the extent that I would like it to be. I think that they have more direction here. I didn't think it seemed too daunting, too stressful, which is the opposite of what Lost Soul Aside was. It seemed like I could not get through that entire game for Lost Soul Aside unless I had myself a raised energy, which you can get from Rep Sports, reppsports.com. Just type in ALWT Gaming at checkout, get 50% off. But anyway, promotion aside.
Well, he did it.
Promotion aside, I really don't think I could have gotten through Lost Soul Aside just by like casually, like being that casual gamer where I'm sit back, whatever. Like I feel like I have to be like literally sit up and everything. This game,
this is more than casual gaming. This is relaxed.
I was talking about Lost Soul Aside. As I can't be like this for Lost Soul Aside. Like I gotta be up for this game. I can be chilled. I can be sit back. Maybe have myself a beer. All that good stuff.
Dude, you could read a book and play this game. As Nineball said, he's out back growing Boston attack move.
So I think that this has a lot of potential, but I think it's still in very early development. And we're going to go on over to the last one, which is a new trailer for it's a new trailer for Black Myth. So I'm going to show you guys that one. We're going to react to that one, and that will actually be our last trailer for the day. That will actually end us out. But it's the newest one that came out because there's one for Black Myth last year that they shown, and this one's going to be obviously from this year, actually like a week or two ago. So it's a relatively new trailer, and it's literally the story of Sun Wukong.
It's Wukong.
Wukong, Sun Wukong, all that.
Well, they have Wukong on here.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep this one. Actually, let me see. Yeah. We'll go ahead and put that in because I don't think there's any music in this one. What was... Oh, that was Lost Soul Aside. Get out of here. Bam. Here we go. Okay. Alright, everything we're about to see is captured in game running in real time. Work in progress. Does not represent the final game. There we
At least
go.
they said it.
Mm-hmm. But even so, this game looks beautiful as is.
Just this opening sequence is just the visual graphics is fantastic.
Yeah,
and are you sure this is in game?
Yeah, this is all in game, and this.
Oh wait,
is
guys, this is Unreal Engine 5.
That's what I was about to say. This is Unreal Engine 5 for sure, for 100% fact.
We're getting ready to go into virtual realities that you don't even know is a virtual reality soon, folks.
Dude, this is amazing. And just imagine again having this on a high-end PC, having this on Xbox Series X or PS5. This is going to look amazing, absolutely amazing.
Nineball, we're gonna need a freaking upgrade our graphics cards soon.
Yeah, I was about to start upgrading mine anyway.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he's listening to rock and roll.
Yeah, I got a... Where's that thingy?
I just updated mine, but it's like, dang.
Just look at this, man. This is ridiculous. Game science.
Just that opening sequence was just wow.
Yeah. Look at that.
I'm getting
look at the snow. His staff is just literally hanging inside. It actually sinks inside the snow.
That was a very Souls move to do, of knocking someone off a cliff without having to fight them.
Yeah, it's definitely Sun Wukong.
Oh, they even show you the bars and everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're showing you the UI on this. I think they still have I mean, ultimately, this looks. Don't get me wrong. This looks great with the snow. What they're doing, but I still think there's some stuff of the snow they still need to touch up on.
Those particle physics are a nightmare, bro. Even with the old engines, I didn't even touch them. And I was going through my stuff with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're fun. Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
Bad monkey! Oh, did he just throw up on you?
Yep.
Ew.
No.
Drunk monkey. I'm getting kind of God of War vibes.
A little bit, yeah. You see the little shadow that you have if you get a perfect dodge? It's like a little shadow behind you.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's a boss battle.
Yeah.
It's either a boss battle or a semi-boss battle, you know? Oh, it's shadow dodge.
Yeah. He
Circle
just healed
protection
up.
and
Yeah,
heal
he
himself.
just healed up, yeah.
It's like, all right, now what, boy? Okay.
I love that. I
Ooh.
love that. That little like when you get that perfect dodge, it leaves a aftermath of you.
Yeah.
This is very Sekiro too, as well. Sekiro died twice.
I haven't played that, but I've heard it's good.
Oh, you of all people would love it.
Yeah, I've been told I need to play it, but I just so distracted with other stuff. I have to find
I
time
understand
to
that.
buy it and get it.
Yep. Try to fake you out.
No translation?
That's fine. I'll wait for the English commentators.
As long as they get better voice actors.
Yeah, I feel like with a quality of game like this, you're gonna have. You could probably get Willem Dafoe or somebody.
Seems like a messenger bird or something.
Or me on Tuesday. Is that a man's head?
It is.
Yep. I don't know the true lore behind some.
Must be the KFC guy. He was freaking like a chicken. A Batman for real.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Now this makes sense. Yeah, I was about to say he can transform into different things. Like in the very first trailer, you saw him as a bee. In this one, you can see that he's a bat, but you also saw that he was just disguised as a statue too at the very beginning.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Ao Kwang.
Yep.
To like the Smite version of Market Storm. That's cuckoo. Yeah, that's.
That is Cuckoo's.
Yeah.
That is Cuckoo's.
Yeah,
skin.
this is either Cuckoo or Ao Kwang. I think it's Ao Kwang. I think he's more popular.
Yeah, Ao Kwang. One of the four pillars, dragon of water, lightning, and wind, if I remember right.
I don't know why I'm thinking of Legend of the Five Rings.
But look at the ice. Look at the ice cracks.
Yeah, from the damage of the strikes.
The water dragon. Legend of the Five Rings.
I'm feeling more of the Dark Souls fight with Dark Souls 3 with the Thunder Dragon. Do you remember that one, Nineball?
Not really.
It was with the Thunder Dragon King. Although the dragon you fought, like first off, but this feels like you don't have the king you're fighting, but you're fighting the dragon more. But I definitely kind of feel like God of War for sure is vibes I'm getting from this.
Yeah. I can definitely see that, and I won't be surprised if God of War was an inspiration to this game.
Oh, power pulled it.
Yeah, yeah. They have. They've been noticing they've been having more games implement his staff skill. So like they even had that in Smite to where he has that big line shot.
Yeah,
but they haven't.
yeah,
That's his.
that's
Go
his
ahead,
thing.
Numbo.
Yeah, that's his thing. I'm just saying, you're seeing more of that because they even have that inside Hunter's Arena, where he can get up high and jump down from it.
Dude, if Monster Hunter fights were this awesome, I. Now, granted, I put like 700 hours into it, but damn, this type of fight. Just sitting up there on his pole, like, all right, you gonna stop?
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Smacked him, dude.
Oh!
Smacked
Just
him.
sat there waiting for him on it.
Straight up smacked him.
还记得盂兰会上世尊说过，终生之苦，若因不守戒律，放情纵欲。要我说，放屁！
Oh, I'm gonna cut off the music. There we go. That way we don't get.
Yeah.
They definitely have some very interesting boss fights in this game for sure. Very interesting boss fights. Look at that bear, dude.
It's the spirit bear from the New Mutants.
That is. I'm very curious to see what the purpose of this is. Like, if this is going to be like an Asura's Wrath type scenario, to where now
Find out.
yeah, to where Wukong is going through, literally going through and killing all the gods or whatever, or what. Like, I'm very curious to see what this is because, like I said, they had the very same thing. They had a very similar thing too. I think there's a little bit more.
Saw Epic on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like there might be a little bit more. Let me fast forward a bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, dude, the graphics on this thing is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And just look like just looking at on this on my monitor right now is just like I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for this game. There's no way that this is going to release on PS4 or Xbox One, in my opinion. Absolutely no way.
Should be able to, even if you downgrade the graphics a bit.
Yeah, it was
You probably won't have to with how much power they got. It should be okay to release.
for the PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, PS4. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah. I mean, 'cause they had stated that this was going to be on PS4 and Xbox One previously, but I think that was in anticipation that it was going to launch earlier than it has. So I personally don't think that this is going to come out on the PS4 or Xbox One. I don't think it will. I think they probably right now they have to announce that it will, just because it's not officially out yet. So they have to plan for the last gen consoles. I personally don't think it. I think this is strictly going to be PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and I don't even think this will be S. I think it'll be X and PS5. That's my thoughts, but yeah, what are your guys' thoughts about this game now? We just saw Black Myth, the newest trailer. Go ahead.
I think it's probably the best one of all three of them. So
I was about to say
give it
the
about
same thing.
probably give it a 9. I'll give it so far the trailer. I give it a 9 for the trailer. It looks pretty good. The controls look very responsive. The bosses look challenging, and they make you utilize a lot of the character themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna definitely see more of it. It's just
100%.
Oh yeah,
waiting for it.
Yeah.
this game has actually got me kind of want to go back and play some God of War. You know,
Have you beat it?
not yet. No, I've been distracted by so much stuff, but it's gotten me re-engaged with it, like reinvigorated for it, because just from the beginning portions that I played of it, it kind of has that feel with the interactions of the bosses and all. Like you're definitely, like Nymel said, very engaged with them to where you have to utilize your character pretty well. Just from what we saw of the trailer, the story kind of feels like a redemption almost of Sun Wukong. Like he's done something, he's got to kind of go through and kind of like do all these tasks, like kill these demons and such, to kind of like get something back, redeem himself, or whatnot. I don't know the true story behind it. I did have a little bit of a hard time following the subtitles, not because I didn't read them, but just because some of them seem to go by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But it kind of has a feel of just the base look of like Shadow of Colossus, where you have to kill all those different colossi just to kind of get to your end goal. So it kind of feels like that in a way, and kind of like, I guess, God of War in a way is like like you have to go through and kill all those demons and gods and such to get to the end point. So I feel like there's like a lot taken from that, but I will agree with what you were saying, Malachi, when we were watching this. Is aesthetically it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful game. Combat wise, like Nineball said, it's very good, very fluid, very responsive and reactive, as we saw. When he got hit, there was knockbacks and such. Like even with some of the smaller characters that they showed, just the base like little grunts that were in the game, he had those, which is nice. I want to know more lore now. I really want to know more lore to the game, like it's the story wise and everything, because it's really got me intrigued just from what I've watched. So I'm gonna have to agree with them. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
This has a perfect score for me. This has an absolutely perfect score. If I gave it a 9 out of 10, it's because of this, like me being so nitpicky of that snow. It dips inside the snow, but there's parts where it almost seems like it's... I think if they let it dip, and then when you bring the staff up, if you saw the snow particles on it, then it will feel like it's sticking a little bit more. But there's been a few times where that had happened. I was like, all right, they could do a little bit better on that. But
okay, Mr.
That's me. That's if I were to give it a 9 out of 10. That's me being that nitpicky. This got a perfect score, especially when you just got a ring of fire and just sip the sake, dude. Man, come on. You know what I mean? Like, dude,
I would agree with the perfect score if I could get more of the lore in the story. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's because I didn't read the subtitles fast enough. I just feel like if they gave you more of that, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10. But I think even just with what they showed, it definitely has... It's definitely 9 out of 10 worthy, for sure, just from the trailer alone. Story flow and wise, I don't know too much like right now, and like I'll definitely admit I don't know too much of the lore of Sun Wukong, but I feel like he's had a point in the mythology of him where he did have like a redemption arc to him in a way, like it's something he did and he has to redeem himself, because he was more of like the trickster. He was kind of like a trickster god in a way, and like he was very, I'm not gonna say flamboyant, but even though that's the word that came to my mouth,
he kind of was. I don't want to say rebellious, but there was a time period inside the Chinese lore where there were several gods that tried to stop him, and he was still too much for them.
He was very outgoing, and I don't even know if those are the right words. Shit. I speak English, but I don't. Does that make sense, everyone? But yeah, I definitely agree. Like there was times where he was not favored by a lot of them because of his antics and his shenanigans, or even just his the way he talked or handled himself. You know, it was against like a lot of what they thought and believed. You know, so he was very like outcastish in a way a lot of times. So I feel like this is like during one of those time frames where maybe he had something, because like at the end I did see like he sold his mortal soul to the six realms, and it's not going to be that easy to leave. So I don't know if maybe this is the beginning of Sun Wukong or what, but I'm very very intrigued to play this game now. Like this definitely has caught my attention. Out of the three we saw, this is definitely number one. Lost Souls aside, number two, and then of course, you know, Faith by Just Chant is definitely number three.
I agree. That's the same order for me too. Black Myth, Lost Soul aside, and Faith Enchant or whatever it's called. I was just say Faith. Faith. I mean, all of them look great. Let me recap. They all look good, but there are some works that has to be done with the other two. For Black Myth, there's not a whole lot of work that needs to be done. I just need to know what the story is. So I'm just taking it down for what it is, to where, again, and that's kind of what I did for all three of them. 1, trailer. 2, what are you presenting? How is it going to play? How's it going to look? How are we going to be interacting with minions and bosses and the comrades and all that stuff? And 3, presentation, voice acting. All of that is important. We didn't really hear a whole lot of voice acting in the first one because I just went ahead and muted it because there's music in it. But I do recall me watching it the first time, and it was in their foreign language. So I wasn't cringing on them speaking because they sound cool. But for what they have for Faith, they just I don't know if those were just filler voice actors. I feel like they're not. They probably are actually the cast. But I think as that game goes through development, I think that game shouldn't come out until 2024, 2025, and they should reconsider recasting the voice actors, at least for some of them. I don't know if the girl... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, you're gonna have it. Finish.
I was about to say, I don't know if the girl will grow on you. The girl voice actor will grow on you over time. I don't know if it's anything like the long lines like that, but I do think that she's probably the weaker of the two voice actors that we did hear, the main cast, I should say, that we did hear that they should reconsider doing, or maybe reconsider training her to fit that description a little bit more of the little girl. Little girl illustration is very cute. She's adorable, but that voice just didn't really match necessarily entirely with the character itself, so I didn't have a connection with that character.
Yeah, you didn't hear much voice acting of Sun Wukong in there, so I'm wondering if he is.
I don't even know if he even talks, to be honest with you.
He talks.
He talks. That's one of his problems. Is he opens his mouth a lot of times, and a lot of people didn't like what he said.
I'm talking about in this game. Like, I don't know because
he talks in this game.
I was about to say I've yet to actually hear him talk in this game at all. I don't know.
I feel like he would have interactions, but I think we saw like gameplay and him just doing his stuff, so there wasn't much of him to talk about. You know, some of those enemies I didn't see talking, but I definitely think Sun Wukong would have something to say about it, especially when he was fighting them or beating them. So maybe that's something that's yet to come that they just haven't put in yet. You know. Yeah. But from what they've shown, fantastic game
Chef's
from
kiss.
just from just the trailer.
Yeah, man.
Actually, who was that? Me and Flash had a discussion not too long ago about voice actors.
Yep.
And this just justifies it.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, the voice actor to me was one of the worst parts of that one.
I agree.
It was, especially Little Girl. It sounds so mechanical, and it can just kill your immersion and take you out of the experience altogether.
Yeah. 100% agree.
It's something they really need to. They really gotta fix that.
So yeah. So there you have it, guys. We have that is our episode of ALWT Things Gaming, episode 62. If you guys are listening on Anchor, I am looking it up right now to tell you what episode it is. Bada bing, bada boom. But of course, we appreciate anyone that's been tuning in, whether you're listening audio-wise or whether you're watching us live on twitch.tv/ALWT Gaming, or if you're watching on YouTube later on after we post up the recording. This is actually episode 48 for Anchor listeners. So Yeah, so, and of course, a lot of this, for a good portion of it, I want to say maybe half of this podcast, you might want to just go to our YouTube channel itself if you guys want to see what we were reacting to. The games, again, that we were watching in order is Faith of Disenchant or something. It's like Dance Chant. I think that's what it is, Dance Chant. And then we have Lost Soul Aside was first. My apologies. We had Lost Soul Aside, that was first. Then it was Faith of Disenchant. Then after that, it was Black Myth. All three games recently had newish trailers, and yeah, they all look great, but some excel over the others. So definitely very curious to see what is going to come out of that in the next coming years. This Thursday is pending for Smite Night. I say pending because some of us got really frustrated playing Smite the other day, getting clapped by some of these cheap A metas. So it's just really ridiculous of how it is. So Hi-Rez, I know you're not listening, but you should be listening. Please stop it. Just fix everything. Fix it. It's broken. It's not fun. You're going to lose customers that way. That's all I got to say about it. And then next,
Hi-Rez. I watched this thing about that not too long ago. I want to say it was Nerd Slayer. They talking about he was talking about Death of a Game, and he's talking about Realm Royale.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned something that they call the high-res effect.
Mm-hmm. Where they start a game, and then afterwards it gets going, they kind of just leave it in the dust like Paladins.
No, it's like they do weird decisions. Because it's like Realm Royale was doing really well, and then they started turning it into Fortnite.
Mm.
And it pissed, because Realm Royale, like they said, one of the big selling points was the Forge. Because in order to get your big weapon, I guess you had to go to the Forge to make them. And it would make noise, and it could alert other people. It can create hotspots of combat for that stuff. And plus, you had classes and stuff. It's just they got rid of most of that stuff, and they started to turn it more and more into Fortnite, which they shouldn't have.
I agree.
But it's something they dubbed the high-res effect, because sometimes they do weird things with some of their games. And it makes no sense why they do that.
Yeah.
They should really fix some of that stuff.
Should.
Yeah, that's just, yeah. We'll just have to see if we do end up doing Smite Night, which we probably will, but we'll see, because I would have to re-download on my PS5 because I deleted it out of protest. But yeah, but
rage quit.
I did rage quit. I rage quit. I rage closed. I rage deleted everything. But if we end up doing Smite Night, it will be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to be starting a little early. And this should be the last Thursday. We'll be starting this early for Smite Night for a bit. And we'll see how it's going to progress moving forward. Yeah.
If you guys have any multiplayer games you think we'd like to play besides Call of Duty, because Malachi just doesn't hang with that, drop a comment or send us a message and we can look into it, We're always open for some new games.
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly.
Not games you wanted to see us play in reactions, because I cannot get Malachi to play Phantasmophobia. He will not do it as much as me and Nineball have tried.
Nope, definitely not.
We've offered to mow the lawn, and he still won't do it.
And of course, make sure you guys are checking us out on social media platforms. Just type in ALWT Gaming, pretty much anything. That's Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Anchor, all of that. On Twitch, it is www.twitch.tv/ALWT Gaming. You can check out our website at www.alwtgaming.com. Check out our content there, all in one hub, all in one place, all in one space. Of course, make sure you guys go to Rep Sports, REPPSports.com to get your Raised Energy drinks. Quite delicious, no sugar, and you can get 15% off if you type in ALWT Gaming at checkout. And then lastly, make sure you guys are checking our YouTube content, ALWT Gaming. If you guys can't find us that way, type in At Least We Tried Gaming, because At Least We Tried. Guys, that does it for us for today. And be on the lookout for the schedule for September, because we have 9 to 5 seconds. We got Smite Nights. We have ALWT Things Gaming that's coming up. And then hopefully some reaction videos for that will be coming for probably PlayStation, Nintendo Directs, Xbox, Gamescom, anything additional like that. So be on the lookout for all of that. Until next time, everybody, Control, Alt,
Complete.
Complete.
Peace.